welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I'm the Crochet Critic, and on this channel we give 100% honest to God reviews about anything to do with crochet. If that's yarn, hooks, tools, accessories, anything. So today we have a yarn review. This is Lion brand Ice Cream Deluxe. They just released it. It's a really new yarn. It's a type of chenille yarn, so it's a little bit like velvet. It's a really thick yarn. So as you see here, I crocheted a spiral rug, just a really fast, simple pattern. It only got me this far. So from right here to just about, I think you can see the edge right there. Yeah. It was a fun little project. I really enjoyed myself. I felt like it was cute to use. You know, the colors are really bright. The colorway changes are really nice. I felt like it was a fun yarn to work with. But will it hold up to the strength test? And I had something I was going to tell you guys about, so let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so here's the label up close. Lion brand Ice Cream Deluxe. So you can see they kind of made a little milkshake out of those yarn balls. How cute is that? But in reality, I know you're all wanting to look straight at this ball of yarn. Look how pretty that is. I mean, you can already see here the texture. It's kind of like a thin strand of cloth in the center. Then it kind of wraps out these longer pieces. I enjoyed the yarn. It was really nice to work with, but crocheting with it, it has a sticky type feel. You know how when you have your hook hand and then you have your yarn going through your fingers on your other hand and you're pulling? My hand felt really sticky after using it. I mean, I only crocheted this in less than an hour, but had like a starchy type feeling on my hand. Around my ring where I hold my yarn, it was really starchy and it was uncomfortable. So I don't know if that's something that other people have experienced with this type of yarn, but I know you're all dying to look at the label. Net weight is 5 ounces or 142 grams. Yardage is 155 yards or 142 meters. So really the yardage is very low. Of course that's to be expected with such a thick yarn, but I mean honestly you really can't crochet that much. I mean, to crochet a sweater you're gonna need to get several of these. Okay, 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. This is considered a super bulky yarn. So size 6. For knitting needles it's a 13 or a 9mm. For a crochet hook, N13 or size 9mm. So actually I ended up using a size N15, which is actually a 10mm hook. If you guys recognize this hook, it's from my Tunisian crochet set that I reviewed last week. If you guys want to check that out, the link is in the description. But I used this hook instead because when I tried to use the 9mm, it just really was tight. It was very tight. Just trying to do the spiral, it was tightening so bad here that I actually had a cone going. I did not have a circle going on this, so I frogged everything and I went back and switched back to my 10mm hook. So that's the hook size I used there. It just so you guys know, you might have to go up a size depending on what your comfort is. Okay, so the die lot is here, color number here, and article number here. This color is called Southwick, and I actually picked this because it was the most inviting color, I guess. The other ones, I mean, it might depend on what color you like, but I felt like the other colors were a little bit bland. This one was the only color that I felt really popped out at me. Southwick's kind of a weird name for this, I felt. Moving on, I guess. Okay, so your washing symbols, in case you guys are not watching this. When you buy yarn, make sure you always check your wash symbols. I mean, it's super easy. If you're not sure what the symbols are, just look it up on your phone, laundry symbols and meanings, and it'll give you a whole list of that. But for you guys to know what to expect before you buy this, if you don't know what these are, I'll explain them to you. So this little symbol here, the wash tub with the 2 dots, means that the water temperature has to be below 40 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the safest temperature, so it has to be below those two. So you can wash it. I mean, it's machine washable and dryable. Just make sure that your temperature of your water does not exceed 40 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I'm sure everybody has seen this next symbol before. This little triangle with the X in it is simple. Do not bleach. So don't bleach this fabric. It is going to leach out every color and you're just going to be left with a nasty blend without any beautiful color in it. So that triangle means do not bleach. Okay, this next symbol here, the square with the circle and 2 dots in the middle. That means you can dry this product in your dryer. So you can't go over medium heat. That's the maximum heat allowance for this fabric is medium heat. So you can do like tumble dry low or tumble dry medium, but it has to stay medium. It can't go high or it'll damage the fabric. Okay, this next symbol is an iron. So there's an iron and it has an X over it, so don't iron. I don't know if you could tell that, but that's what that says, don't iron. And lastly, the little circle with an A in it, this means that you can dry clean with any solvent. So you don't have to dry clean it. A lot of people don't usually dry clean. I've never dry cleaned any of this. My grandmother's never dry cleaned any of her crochet projects, but a lot of people do, just to keep them nice and fresh and, you know, sustainable for many years to come. So if you want to dry clean this, you're just concerned about that, this is any solvent. You can use any solvent with this. Because in case you didn't know, sometimes dry cleaning, they use different types of solvents and it can mess up the yarn. So just so you know. Something else I wanted to talk about is if you are wanting to make a big project with this, please, in this type of situation, you need to make sure you check the lot number, the die lot. So you need to check the die lot. That means that your blues and your yellows are going to be very similar. So I got this die lot with this one and I double checked on the back. So what I'm saying is, if you bought this cake of yarn a different die lot than this one, then your dark blue might not be the same dark blue as in here. The light blue might not be the same as in here. It might be a little bit different and it might not be very noticeable, but you will be able to see that and it might bother you a little bit. So just wanted to point that out. So what I did is I picked the same die lot, but I also picked one that would start and finish with the same color as the start and finish here. In case I had to cut and minus a little bit here, you know, sometimes you mess up or you end up with a knot or with a problem, and you want to make sure that you can have enough to continue that colorway without messing up at all. So just be aware, I had to dig a little bit to get the right color because, you know, a lot of them might start with yellow and then you're going to be stuck with a yarn that starts blue and ends blue, and then you have one that starts yellow. And what if it ends with yellow or with dark blue? You'll be really thrown off. So pay attention with that. But I'm just warning you, this would be very, very sweaty. You would be sweating bullets if you wore this. While I was crocheting it, I had this sitting on my lap and I was so sweaty. It was unbelievable. If you don't want something that's going to be too sweaty, and honestly, from the feel of it on my fingers when I crocheted, I honestly would not make this into a wearable garment just because of how starchy it felt. Unless you wash it afterwards and it feels very soft. But whenever I made this, it was so uncomfortable on my hands. So just so you guys know, it's very uncomfortable to crochet with. I wouldn't recommend crocheting with it for long periods of time unless you want to wash your hands a lot. But I digress. Let's move on to the strength test, shall we? All right, you varmints. Let's test out this yarn. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit. And I'm sure you guys can see I got a little bit over a yard. I'm going to wrap it around my hands and try to pull it. Can you hear it? It's already straining. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That snapped pretty easy. Hardly even put any effort into it, but you can see what happened. There's just a little 2-ply, kind of like the size of a needle thread, that goes in between all of these little blue fibers. And you can see the center of them are white. So the center of these little fibers are white, only the outside is dyed blue. So not very strong. I'm guessing if it got caught on something. Let me try to pull it here. Okay, let me not wrap it around my hands and I'll just try to pull it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that took me 3 or 4 tries without actually wrapping it and pulling tension. So you can see here, it just kind of pulls off. If I untwisted it, these would just come off so easy. So this really is not that strong of a yarn. I mean, honestly, if this rug ever got snagged on something, it would probably just snap. I mean, it looks really thick and bulky, and it looks like it would hold up over time, but that is so shreddy, and honestly, if it just got pulled just a little bit, look, it kind of, you can see it right here. It gets pulled just a little bit, and it unravels. So really not a strong yarn at all. On the strong rating, I would probably only give it like a, on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 3. That's really not a strong yarn. You know, like being comfortable crocheting, I would definitely give this like a 1. This was like the most uncomfortable yarn to crochet with, and I feel like it's very starchy feeling. They really need to lighten up on the chemical that they put on it. If they put chemical, maybe it's just how the yarn feels. Maybe it just feels that way. It's just uncomfortable to crochet with, but I really don't enjoy that much. It's not the same as other acrylic yarns. Very uncomfortable to crochet with. The colorway is gorgeous. I mean, that's the colors. I would give it like a 9 because it's so pretty. I mean, you get so many different colors of blue, different shades of turquoise, teal. The yellows are very vibrant and bright, and it really lightens up the room. I mean, this is in my bedroom, and it's very beautiful and exciting to look at, but it's, I guess it's just really brittle. That's definitely not even, I mean, I'm just barely gonna pull. I'm hardly even pulling. That's not even, that's not even strong enough to withstand like moving houses, withstand putting away in storage. Definitely this is not going to be around for a long time. I would say if you're going to use this yarn for anything to do with crochet, use it on something you're not afraid to have damaged, because if this ends up getting snagged on something, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no. That's a no-no. So I'm happy I just made this quick little rug with it. I was planning on adding to the rug and just adding this on there because I don't really know what else to use it for. I'm not going to use this for a sock hat for sure. That would be so uncomfortable. I'm not going to use it for a scarf, clothing item. I'm not going to use it for a headband. So the only thing I'd probably use it for is a rug. So that's all I can say about this type of yarn, I guess, today. Lion Brand, you are very near and dear to my heart, but this type of yarn I will not purchase again. For you guys, if you want to try it, it was close to $8. I think it was like $7.49 a cake. And you only get 155 yards, so that's up to you guys to decide if that's worth the money or not to you. If you like chenille yarn and you like velvet yarn, you might really enjoy this, but for me, the weakness of the yarn and the ply, the feel of how it feels in your hand when you're crocheting, it's just uncomfortable. In some places, it will be over $8. You know, you're getting charged for something that really isn't worth it. I don't feel like this is really worth it. I will not purchase this again, but I did this review because I want you guys to be happy with what you buy. So this is just a non-sponsored self-purchase that I wanted to review and let you guys know, you know, like maybe what you'd be getting into. But it's all in the eye of the beholder. So if you guys see this cake for sale and you think, dang, that is just a beautiful color, I have to purchase that, then go right ahead. I mean, I'm excited for you guys. If you've used this before, let me know in the comments. If you loved it, hated it, let me know, because I'm more on the scale of hating this yarn. But so, in conclusion, if you liked anything about this video, or if you agreed with me on anything I said, leave me a like so I know I'm going in the right direction. Leave me a comment so I know what you guys want to review. You know, you can tell me anything in the comments. You can talk to me about crochet, tell me about what projects you have going, anything is exciting to me. Anything to do with crochet is exciting. I love all things crochet, and I know I'm not the only one out there. Also, if you guys think of any new ideas, I'm totally open to them. If you guys think of anything you want me to review, yarn, hooks, tools, accessories for crochet, let me know. I would be so happy to review them. I love doing this. It's so fun. And lastly, if you enjoyed anything in this video, subscribe and you won't be disappointed because I have so much more coming up. It's a fun job to get to do this kind of stuff for you guys. So if there's any ideas, anything you want to see reviewed, let me know. But until then, Crochet Critic out. Oh, and thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.